Welcome to Partner Spotlight, Mr. Yapa. Now, tell us a little bit about the Afro Asian Book Council, of which you were recently elected chairman.
Well, the Afro Asian Book Council was really started about 20 years ago to try and promote African literature in Asia and Asian literature in Africa. Not just literature, actually, it also extended to textbooks. But this is the first time a Sri Lankan has been appointed. And what I would like to do in the next 2 years while I am president of this organization is to try and see how we could get Asian literature into the African markets, and the other way around also, because so far it's basically been mostly the Western countries who have been playing a prominent part both in Africa and also in Asia. And I think there is a lot of literature available in our two continents where we can benefit from the writings.
What can you tell us about the reading patterns in this country, Mr. Yapa? Are we a nation of readers?
Yes, actually Sri Lanka is a nation of readers. I mean, the fact that the Colombo Book Fair, which we run every September, is an indication where over 1 million people gather during those 9 days to purchase books, and it's a tremendous sight to see that virtually everybody who comes has a book in his hand. And I think that shows the thirst for literature and also for books. I mean, one of the most moving sights I've seen is where young kids bring their little piggy banks, break it open in front of a favorite publisher, and then you start counting the coins, and then they say, we want that book and we want this book. I think that says it all.
Now, you're also president of the Sri Lanka Book Publishing Association. Now, what initiatives have you taken to take Sri Lankan literature out to the rest of the world?
Yeah, we award the Swarna Pushtaka Prize once a year, where we give prizes to the value of 750,000, of which the first prize is 500,000, to encourage the best of literature in Sinhala. This year we are also exploring about the possibility of literature for the young. This is a new field that has come up. But another initiative that we are planning to have this year is that the Swarna Pushtaka winner, that book will be translated into English. Because if it is good enough for Sri Lanka as the best novel, then I don't see why it should not also be considered as a good novel for the rest of the world. But we cannot present that in Sinhala. So we want to get that translated into English and make that available to the English public, English reading public, both at book fairs at various parts of the world, but also through distributors in places like England and USA.
Now, with the advent of technology, how has online reading or e-books affected the sales patterns in traditional bookshops?
If you are looking at books published in the West, even with e-books, most books are available at £9.99, which approximately translates to about 2,200 rupees. So far in Sri Lanka, the best of these novels we are able to offer at about 1,000 rupees each, or even less, which is half the price of the e-book. So therefore it has not affected our sales as far as English books are concerned. As far as educational books are concerned, it was interesting meeting with the chairmen of various multinational institutions in Beijing and also in London and Frankfurt over the last 6 months. They are saying the e-book sales are coming down because people find that it was a novelty, but they don't want to spend so much time in front of a computer anymore. Internet is a different issue, but getting an e-book is another issue. Because I think one thing is that compared to making notes and various other things and keeping that in front of you, e-books have their limitations. So this may be one reason, but we'll just have to see. A lot of people predicted that when TV came into vogue in the 70s and 80s, that will be the end of newspapers. But what has happened? Look at even things like LMD, how they have prospered. So that shows that there is a demand for the printed word.
Getting back to the Afro Asian Book Council, Mr. Yapa, what initiatives are in place to foster these type of relations within these regions?
Well, one thing we are looking at is a seminar in Sri Lanka where we'll be getting down experts from other countries to talk about the important things that need to happen to the book industry if it is to go ahead. And I think a lot of initiatives have been taken and a lot of innovation has been taken. But one thing is here, for instance, in the education department. The education department publishes its own books. So there is no opportunity for private individuals to write their own books. This is quite a contrast to the Western countries where a lot of development is taking place, where there's a lot of private initiative, innovations and looking ahead. So I think these are areas we need to also look at. And if we do that, I think then the printed word and also the education of people of this country will grow very much and grow by leaps.